Lamine Yamal steps into McDonald's, looks left, sees Pulisic, looks right, sees Jimenez. Gives a nod to Ronaldinho in the corner with a FIFA World Cup meal. Ronaldinho sees Son in the booth. Son finds Beckham going for extra Big Mac sauce. He's got Davies at the table just behind him. Davies going for his collectible cup. Oh no! A steal by Henry, who pulls his own collectible cup. Collect one of 9 legendary cups with a FIFA World Cup meal.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time while supplies last. All rights reserved. 2026 McDonald's at FIFA World Cup 2026.
So good, so good, so good.
New summer arrivals are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Get ready to save big with up to 60% off brands like Rag & Bone, Levi's, Adidas, and Free People. Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Ladies and gentlemen, Golfweek Amateur Tour proudly presents Golfweek Amateur Tour, the podcast, talking about all things Golfweek Amateur Tour, including interviews with tour directors, players, and course professionals. Now here are your hosts, Tim Newman and El Paso Las Cruces Tour Director, Chris Rocha.
And we start again with the behind-the-scenes laugh. Chris, it's good to see you, buddy. Your whole face. It's good to see your whole face.
Likewise. I mean, it feels like too long, but it really hasn't.
No, it hasn't. Although, the next time we see each other, you will have traversed, half the country 3 or 4 times, right?
Yeah, I would have flown to Dallas, driven up through Oklahoma to Branson, Missouri, driven back down to Dallas, fly home, wash clothes, then drive to Arizona.
So you don't have free time.
I mean, I'm golfing, so I guess that would be free time.
So, I mean, our guest was just kind of joking that he has some free time. That's why he's joining us today.
Right.
But today's a pretty big day. U.S. Soccer is playing tonight. Are you gonna stay up for the whole thing? You gotta get up early, don't you?
I'm gonna stay up for the whole thing.
Okay.
What kind of question is that? That's a nonsense question.
Well, I don't know that I am, and I don't have anything to do tomorrow. But see,
Well, it's just kind of citizen you are.
but it starts at 10 o'clock for me, and that's already pushing it, right?
I remember in Nationals last year, we watched Monday Night Football, or Sunday Night Football, because it was the Broncos playing, and it was almost 1 o'clock by the time the game ended. I was pissed.
Did you have to get them to go to work?
No, but they weren't serving this anymore. Maybe, I don't know if it was because we drank too much
Well,
because they were closing.
Well, that's part of the problem then. That's a bar problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get into we've got it's the end of July. We've got and we'll talk about this later. The course assignments for National Championship came out today.
Yeah, saw that.
So we'll talk about that, but let's get into our first guest. Everybody knows who this player is. I think he's a 7-time national champion. Qualifies for either you're a senior open or you're a senior amateur. Just about every year he's played in 6 tournaments this year. Chris, guess how many tournaments he's won? He's played in 6. Just say 6. I mean, so that's he's and before we bring him in, I got to tell you, I love having him on because he's number one, he's so down to earth and he's so willing to give back and help help all of us. And a lot of what he talks about is things that can help the average golfer. But we're going to talk today about kind of what he's done with his game and how he's improved this year as well. So let's go ahead and bring in Joe Jaspers, Champ Light player from Charlotte. Joe, welcome, bud.
Thank you very much. Good to see you guys again.
Good seeing you. So we joked a little bit that you've got some free time, and but I hate saying that you've got free time. And we'll cover that here in just a little bit. But before the season started, and really even since the season started, you've done some game improvement lessons, haven't you?
Yeah, I've actually taken some lessons this year, starting back in January. So
the question that I know everybody's going to have, including some of the Champ Light players that you're beating, why would you do that?
Well, I mean, it's, you start playing a lot of these competitions, and there continue to be good players coming in, and you gotta keep on top of things. Over the years, I've only kind of officially taken lessons one other time, was like 2006, 2007. I've got a good friend I grew up with, Brad Ott, out in Fort Collins. He's a physical therapist, was doing the Titleist performance type stuff before they were doing it. And so, we've always bounced ideas off each other. He's a good player, and he's helped me, stay in shape to continue playing going on. But, it was something different. You're always trying to get better. And this David Ross up in Cornelius, I went to see him, and a lot of some accomplished players have seen him and had good results. So I was kind of out of curiosity a little bit to see what, when you swing a golf club, you can't see yourself swing. And, I don't know about you guys, the first time you saw your swing on video, it looked nothing. It looks nothing like what you imagine.
I'd rather not look at it, Joe. I'd rather not look at it.
Yeah. The first time I saw it, I was like, wow, that's, that was years ago. But he's had some good insight. It's actually really helped my ball striking and my consistency. My dispersions have become tighter. I'm not, my misses aren't as big at times. It's a few, I would say, kind of basic things, but kind of things that creep into your game you don't realize.
So when you went to go see him, was it for anything in particular, or just an overall swing evaluation?
It was really just an overall swing evaluation. It's like, let's get in here, let's swing the club and tell me what you see. I guess when I go into those things, I'm listening and to what the person's thoughts are, but you got to try to fit those into what you do.
Right.
I wasn't going in looking for a big overhaul. And so he confirmed a lot of positive things about my swing, but he said, Joe, I'm not trying to change a lot of things. I'm trying to tighten things up.
Right.
But some of those things, it's amazing. Golf, you don't have to be off by much, and when that golf ball takes off, it can get moving the wrong direction pretty quick.
But we've talked to you a number of times, and one of the things about you, and I've seen you play a lot, is you're really good at picking your spot and hitting your spot. So when you talk about your dispersion has gotten better, what does that actually look like in terms of a miss hit? How far off is it would you say a miss hit is for you?
Well, like off the tee box. I mean, one of the things last year playing in the Senior Open is that I didn't keep the ball in the fairway. I hit half the fairways, and I played those holes like 14 over par. And it was one of those things like, I need to get a lot better there. So just, I mean, it's just one of those things where just trying to drive the ball straighter, because obviously, it's a lot easier to hit off short grass than, have an uncertainty of how it's going to come out of the rough, that kind of thing. And one thing that I continue to work on is my, like my sand wedges, my short irons, is really improving on the ability to compress those and control those shots better. I usually can get them online, but the compression part I struggle a little bit with in there. So the interesting thing for me was a couple of things he pointed out that I wouldn't have thought of. One was when you're swinging the golf club, where the weight is on your feet. He's got those foot things you stand on.
Oh, I hate those, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you get on those things, and in my situation, I had way too much weight on my right side. I wasn't keeping enough weight on my left foot, which led to over-rotation on my lower body and some of those kind of things that led to inconsistency. And that one thing there, boy, that really made a difference. And the consistency that I was able to hit the golf ball. The other was really just trying, as you get older, is just trying to get more extension in the backswing, keeping the club away from your body to get more width. I mean, those are really the two big things.
So, Chris, as I'm listening to what Joe's saying, everything that he says, and Chris, I don't know if you've ever taken lessons, but I have, and the difference that some of those things that seem small, just like Joe said, where your weight is, making that adjustment is huge in it, not only in the flight path of the ball, but your consistency in where it goes, and that's good for whether you're a champ flight player or if you're a D flight player as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a lesson one time, and the guy confused the crap out of me. But when you actually think about what he's saying, it makes sense. So, honestly, when Joe was talking about the weight, I'm over here sitting, putting my weight on my feet in this chair and trying to figure out where that weight balance is. But I mean, these tools come out for a reason. Like, they design these tools for a reason, and obviously it helps, or else they wouldn't sell. But it's amazing for me when I hear a champ flighter say, or even a flighter, I went and took lessons. Because one, it shows that you're humble enough to hear what somebody else's thoughts are on your swing. And two, I mean, you feel at this point that you've kind of figured out the game as much as you can, but you still want that extra support or that extra help. I think that's cool. I'm in awe of listening to what you've been saying about what you're learning so far.
Yeah. And the thing with the feet is really, it's as much about staying in balance through the golf swing, just like any sport, you got to have good balance, throughout all your movements, and your body moves, your body knows what to do. You just have to put it in position to do it.
Oh. Well, for you, well, my dad always said, be where you're supposed to be and do what you're supposed to do. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. That's why I got in trouble. But Joe, the lessons have obviously worked out for you. I mean, just looking at your scores this year, Chris, again, he's played in 6 tournaments. He's got 6 wins. 8 of his last 9 rounds are in the negative handicap number. Joe, how do you do that? 8 of your last 9 rounds, and the only one that wasn't was the Harbor Town one. You shot 78 and it still lapped the field.
Oh, that one there, yeah. I had a bad last hole there.
Yeah.
Made an 8. So that was the. Yep.
Shot a 78 and he made an
8. That's a tough tee shot off 18 with that 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hit a little offline. So that was early on in my lesson regimen.
But
the thing is though, but the one thing though that I've been, like I said, but more consistent. I'm hitting more greens, but my putting has been very average. That's the one thing I've got to really improve on. Is I've got to putt better. So if I'm hitting 14, 15 greens, you got to start. You can 2-putt, but you got to start making some birdies.
So when you say your putting needs to be better, where do you start to struggle from what distance out is where you struggle from?
Well, really, the thing is just it's about not hitting at the ball inside 15 feet for birdie and making 2 out of 10. That kind of thing. I mean, you 2-putt all day long, but my goal is always to try to have 30 putts or less. And I've had some rounds I'm 33, 34, 35 putts. So I feel like, gosh, I'm hitting the ball really well, but I'm not,
sport.
I'm leaving a lot out there on the plate. So, it's just a matter. I've been experimenting some different putters. So we'll see what happens. It's interesting. I got like 4 putters in my car right now.
Oh boy.
of experimenting. Every time I use one, I'll use it for a couple weeks, and I have kind of the same results. So at some point, I got to take responsibility and say maybe it's me.
It is the putter. No, it is the putter. But when Joe, you talk about that, and then you look at what Wyndham Clark did in U.S. Open. I mean, he missed so many fairways, but he saved par by making those those 15 plus foot putts for par, and was saving those strokes.
Yeah,
it's we joke about it, but it's critical. Somebody at your level, okay, maybe 15 feet is it, but let's just say a C or D flight player, they can't miss a 5-footer. That the 5-footer is the one that they've got to make for bogey or par.
Yeah. I mean that's what Wyndham Clark does is amazing, but that's why he's a professional getting paid for it. But you gotta, that 5-footer keeps the round going.
Mm-hmm.
You may not hit it well, but it keeps the round going. Or that 5-footer making a 10-footer for par. I mean, that's what keeps the momentum going. So, and also, I mean, golf, there is a momentum thing where, if you hit one in there, 8-10 feet for birdie, you got to make some of those to kind of get you in the plus side of the equation. You're not, because, at some point you're going to make some bogeys somewhere and they're going to come, and they'll come back to bite you.
Well, in May, you were in a qualifier for Senior Open at Trayburn up in Durham, and I was following you all day, and I mean that was a pretty stacked group that was out there. I mean, to get five in with two alternates, that kind of tells you something. You didn't make it, but you played a solid round. You were 3 over, shot 75, with really, I mean, you had the triple on hole 6, but I mean,
there was one of those days that was the day I left all kinds of shots out there. I think I hit 15 greens at 34 putts.
Oh wow!
I had I started on the back 9, and that first 9 I hit 7 out of 9 greens, and I had 7 actually good looks at birdie. I made 2.
Yeah.
I mean, then the back 9 I had the debacle on my 15th hole.
Yeah.
Where it took me 3 to get out of a sand trap. I haven't done that before. But that was that was pretty much where it was done. But the next hole I had, about a 12-footer for birdie uphill.
Mm-hmm.
The next hole I, had about 20 feet for birdie, so, I wouldn't have made it in still with that triple, but if I'd have made putts that day, that triple, I still maybe could have gotten in even with that horrendous hole. But, and then the crazy thing was I was in the bunker. I had 120 yards from the middle of the fairway, half chunked it, pulled it into a bunker. So that's golf.
That is. So let me ask you a strategy question. So let's just say you don't triple that hole, but you've got to make something happen to make the cut and to be one of those qualifiers. How does your strategy change from let's just say hole 13 or 14 on, knowing that you've got to make something happen?
I always focus on just trying to hit a good shot. Because the moment I start thinking ahead, it always comes back to bite me. So, I get like the 13th hole, I think it was a par 5. I struggled on that just to make par. So I was okay there. But then it comes to the next hole. It's like, all right, hit a good tee shot. And then you go there and then you got to deal with the next shot. I'm not thinking about, I got to hit this here and then I'm going to make that and keep going on. It's just, you got to focus on just what that next shot you got to hit in there. So, that's kind of how I approach it. And, I guess the old one shot at a time, I guess cliche, but you really got to get your mindset in that, right? And mindset, because you can't think, I got 2 birdie holes coming up. It's like, no, you try to birdie every hole, within reason.
And then Chris, that mentality right there is I think the separator, because you know how it is, and you've done it, I've done it. I mean, I think everybody I know except for Joe has done it. That okay, you're coming down the last few holes, you're 3 shots back, and then you start doing things that you wouldn't normally do, then you end up seven shots back, as opposed to getting closer.
Yeah, I always tell everybody I just play the best I can and let the chips fall where they may. I mean, when you're B, C, and D, you can allow the leaders to mess up. And if you're 3 strokes back and you par out the last 3 holes, it's easily that they can lose those 3 strokes.
Yeah.
As opposed to trying to make it up, and then now you're, like you said, 7 strokes back, and you're out of contention.
Yeah. I mean, and you kind of look at some of the holes too, is when you're like hitting an approach shot into a green, if you're, you always think about it, it's like, well, it's easier to make a 20 or 25 or 30 foot putt than it is to try to hole out of a bunker.
Right.
So sometimes you got to look at what shot you have, where the pin is. And you know what? Sometimes 20, 25 feet away from the hole is actually a good shot. And you got a reasonable chance of making that. Better than making it from the deep rough around the green or in a bunker or something like that. So, you don't have to knock it 5 feet, to make birdie. That's the...
And Joe, Chris is kind of being quiet on this. He had a career round last week. Was it 73, Chris?
73, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. We were going to disqualify him, but we gave him a break.
I mean, like you said, Joe, I was just focusing on hitting middle of the greens. I mean, I figure at least 6 holes. If I go for middle of the greens, I'll be close to the hole for 6 of them. I didn't want to have to worry about chipping where we were at, because the grass was grown. So you never, like you said, you never know where it's going to come out, even the short grass. And I found that I was hitting more greens than normal and 2 putting for pars. And I was okay with that.
That's the kind of boring you like, isn't it? I was a number of years ago, Dennis had a guy in the Tour Championship. I think he was a B flight, and he shot something like 68 or 69. But he was playing Arthur Hills there, and you know how tight that is in places. He said, I didn't hit a driver all day. He just hit his 4-iron.
This episode is brought to you by Google Chrome. You think you know a browser, but Gemini and Chrome? That's new. It can help you with practically anything on the web, like restoring a vintage motorcycle from a 50-page restoration blog, or finally break down that long article you've had open for weeks. Gemini and Chrome is here for it. Ready to make anything online make sense? There's no place like Chrome. Check responses, setup required, compatibility and availability varies, 18+.
And he kept it in play, and, because that's sometimes the difference between like a B flight or A flight or champ flight is, you get those wild numbers. Mm-hmm. They add up quick. And he said, okay, this is the way you need to play the course. And that's what he did. And boy, he played great. Dennis had to bump him, get a breakout rule.
Yeah, but I'll take that bump too, though, right? I mean, that's a...
Oh, yeah. He was excited because he broke out the thing there. He's playing for Skins the next 2 days, but he didn't care. I mean, gosh, to shoot a score that you never shot before in a tournament, let alone that's, it's just like hitting the ball just totally flush the way you want to, and it flies over the green 5 or 10 yards. It's hard to be upset.
It is. Yeah. It is. Yeah, and Chris also got his first hole in one a couple weeks ago, too. So he's also having a good year.
Nice, Chris.
A great 60 days, I guess.
That's been an awesome 60. How many is that?
That's the first.
Oh, your first one. Okay. I had my 3rd one last week. I was out playing during the week in a wingding, not a wingding, but just an outing with one of our board members there. And unexpectedly, I had one when I was 2 and 44. I said 78's my next expected hole in one, 34 years apart. Now this blew my math out of the water, so totally unexpected. Well, that's going to be hopefully the first of many for you, Chris.
I hope so too. I mean, it was great. Unbelievable. Didn't even believe it because I can't really see the...
Watch it go in? Could you see it go in?
No, where the hole was, it was kind of behind a hill, But I was playing with 2 members from that course, and they're like, "Oh, it's in." And I'm like, "How do you know?" They're like, "Just we know where the way the hole rolls and over there, it's in."
Okay.
And sure enough, we went up there, and I had my meta glasses, so I recorded the drive up, and it was pretty cool. It was a fun experience.
Okay. Oh yeah, you just and you hit a good shot. I take it, or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's even better.
Of course, it was a good shot.
Well, I mean, usually, sometimes you hit it and it bounces 6 times, rolls on the green and goes in the hole. I mean, some of those.
Yeah,
but you know what?
I've never had one of those.
You know what? They still count.
They count.
Doesn't matter if it's pretty. So.
And I mean, I was shaking like a leaf for the next 3 holes, and they're like, "No, we're at a tournament. You would need your."
The question is, did you take that golf ball out of play?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's usually one of the first time hole in one person. Usually, they keep playing that golf ball, and living on the edge there that it's going to get lost in the water or something.
Well, crazy thing is, it was a brand new ball. I pulled it out for that hole because it was in a trap twice in the previous hole, so it was all scuffed up. And I was like, "Oh, let me just get a new one." And so it's got 1 stroke on it. And I don't think a lot of people can say that.
That's very true.
That's pretty good.
That's very true. So that's
so
awesome.
Joe, your next event is July 27th at Pinewald Country Club to qualify for the U.S. Senior Am.
Yep.
So what's your preparation like?
Well, I'm gonna just try to get some competitive rounds in before that. We've got something coming up down over in Pinehurst, a 4-ball in the middle of July, and then David Schmidt, which you guys know from the tour. I'm going playing his member guest up in Wytheville, so that's the weekend before. So get a little bit of competitive golf in before that.
That's awesome.
Monday or Tuesday. So yeah.
Let me ask you, what does your range sessions look like preparing for something like this?
I mean, it doesn't really change for trying to these kind of things. It's trying to I guess the thing is I'm a bad range player because I'm always messing around with something, and so very seldom do I leave the range and go, man, I really was hitting it good, because I'm always tweaking things, and that's not always a good thing. Trying to focus on some of those things. But it's kind of the typical, just, hit some short irons, kind of go through. I mean, I go through every club in the bag. I've tried to spend a little more time with my driver because, like I said, at the Senior Open last year, that my inconsistency with the driver was exposed there. So trying to make sure I hit, several of those to focus on those kind of things. And I always like to end hitting some short irons just to get in the feel of trying to compress those wedges, getting those 80, 100-yard shots. That always, I don't know, for me, that, kind of gives me some confidence going to the first hole.
Well, what about is the distance going to be a little bit shorter than the Senior Open?
I think it might be a little shorter. They usually played about 6,700.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. I think the Senior Open, they're close to 7,000. I mean, it was longer last year because it was in Colorado.
Right.
We had to adjust for elevation, but I think they usually play it, 6,900, 7,000 for the Open, but the Senior Am's usually around 6,700, 6,800.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I tell you, that's when you get to that senior stuff, it's nice to be able to get to par 5s and 2 again.
I don't know what that's like, Joe.
Can't say that.
Well, Joe, thank you so much as always for joining us today. I really do appreciate it, and good luck at Pine Wild. I don't know if I'll be watching all day. I got my grandkids starting on the 26th, so I don't know that I'll be around the computer all day, but
okay.
I will. Maybe I'll just put it on the phone.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, Chris, congrats on that hole-in-one. That's awesome. That's, that's, you realize, I mean, not a lot of people have had hole-in-ones. You don't realize when you do the math.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the guy that I went with, that I invited, he's seen like 9 or 10.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't have one. So he's like, oh, another one to add to my book. So I'm like, sorry, dude. Give me next step.
Isn't that just crazy? Well,
Yeah, bring Malone.
but you always have something to play with, right?
Or that, yeah. Or you need to keep playing with him more often.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Joe, you take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, you too. Thanks, Tim.
All right.
All right. Bye.
All right. Let's take a break from the show to hear about Srixon's ZX Mark II drivers.
ZX Mark II drivers are for major players, major winners, major power. All new ZX Mark II drivers, only from Srixon.
We have another first in the history of the podcast. The weather for 2 weeks in a row has caused a cancellation of the most recent interview of our next guest as he was preparing for the Florida State Golf Association 29th Amateur Pub Links Championship at Dunedin Golf Club. Lance LaCombe from the North Florida Tour recently won the Low Country Regional at Fripp Island with a 2-day score of 146, one stroke clear of Jeff Huang from the Hilton Head Tour. So we wanted to give Lance a shout out and replay his interview from July of 2025 when he shot a 63 at the World Golf Village Slammer and Squire. Our guest shot 63. He's been a guest before. He's from the North Central Tour, and I know you all are going to know his name. Let's go ahead and bring in Lance LaCombe. Lance, welcome to the show, bud.
How's it going, guys?
Doing awesome.
Good, man.
Another 63, and congratulations. I don't know how you do it.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
I think it's a little bit of luck at this point.
Well, my understanding it's a 63 with no bogeys.
Yes, it was. Like I said, we shook a couple 4-footers for par, and it worked out.
That's all right. But that's all right. Take what you can get, man. Don't apologize ever. We talked a little bit offline before we started here. There was a 64 last week or the week before from a kid in Minnesota. His was also a no bogey 64. So, but here's the thing, and we'll get into this with you. He said it was a 64, but it could have been a 61.
I like playing the coulda, woulda, shoulda because it tends to hurt my feelings. And there's a good story about hurting my feelings really bad when we left.
Okay, well, let's just jump into it. What happened?
So it's at the World Golf Village, the Slammer and Squire course. The King and Bear is the other one, and in 2022, I shot bogey-free 62 in a golf week event to tie the course record there with Chris Kirk. And we got done today on Saturday. And my buddy was like, "Yeah, it might be the course record." I'm like, "I guarantee I missed it by one, but let's go ask." So I walked in. The second I walked in, I'm like, "Hey, what's the course record?" This guy's looking at me like, "Who's this guy with the camo hat asking what the course record is?" And he's like, "It's 62," and I'm like, "Okay, I've hurt my feelings enough today." And we just walked out, and my buddy's laughing as much as he can on the way out. But it would have been really cool to tie 2 course records in Jacksonville. That would have been fun.
Yeah, and especially at that place. I mean, those courses are phenomenal courses.
Oh yeah, they're great layouts. They're tough, and the good thing is, like, almost doesn't matter what tees you play because every tee shot's going to challenge you at some point, depending where you hit. So it's really good for like every flight. Then you're going to get the person that usually hit it the best out there. I mean, some courses are really wide open, and you can kind of fake it off the tee or vice versa in other places. But out there, if you don't hit it straight, you're going to be battling an alligator to find your ball.
Oh, see, Tim doesn't do that. We don't do that.
Oh, I'll pass.
Hey, do me a favor, just scooch over just a little bit because we're cutting half your face off. There we go. I mean, if people have to look at my face, they got to look at everybody's face. So
I'm trying to hide half of it at least.
I understand. So tell us about the round overall, because again, I mean, you've got 62. So when Dennis sent me this message about, I don't know, Chris. It was actually like the next day he sent this. I was going to ask you for it anyway, but he sent all the lowest scores ever. So you've got a 62. You're on this list a bunch. You got 62, 63, 65s. So tell us about the round and how that compared to the one at King and Bear.
So King and Bear, it was relatively dry. We got 4 inches of rain in 2 days leading up to the Saturday's event. And that course usually is pretty firm and fast, so it plays really short. But with all the rain, it was cart path only, which I think helped me because then you're not thinking about anything. You're more worried about trying to hoof yourself back to the cart, which I'm getting old. I got a bad foot, so it takes a little bit sometimes. And then we had a good grouping. Well, 2 of my best friends, Kyle Dodson, Chase Botson, and then one of my buddies, Traveris, was playing. So everybody was in a good mood and ended up just didn't think it was going to be a low round. No warm up, no range. We were just hitting fun chip shots around the greens. And first hole, I hit driver wedge like 20 feet and left it right in the heart. And I'm like, here we go. We're going to have another day where we just can count all the strokes you throw away. And I just kind of eased in the round, made a birdie on 3. And then I took a ridiculously aggressive shot on 4 for no reason. Got lucky, made birdie. But I made the turn at 3. And then my buddy who was in the group in front of us was waiting on the lead group. And he's like, well, I'm 1 under, so I'm going to catch you. You're 3 under. So kind of lit a fire under me and then got it going. I lipped out from the fairway on 10, birdied 11. 12, I left a great 15-footer right in the heart. Then I almost made ace on 13, birdied 14. And at that point, I'm thinking, oh, I'm 7 under. I was like, my record's 10, tied with someone else. I'm like, if we go 4 under the last 4, we could break the record. And then I missed my only green of the day with a wedge in the par 3, which was demoralizing.
Yeah.
And then birdied 16, hit a good chip in there for eagle, and I 3-peat. And 17, I had a feeling I was going to birdie 18. I don't know what it was. I was just really confident. Obviously, when you're playing well and when you're getting away with hitting some shots that shouldn't do well, you're going to be very confident. So I hit a wedge to like 6 feet, and I told myself, if I make this, I'm shooting 62. And when I tell you, I snap hooked this putt uphill that broke right. I mean, it was a tight draw with the putter, which was just demoralizing at the point.
A tight
draw. Oh, my friend group, we're the kings of tight draws with the putters. It's bad. And at that point, my buddy Chase was 3 under going into 16. And 16 is a par 5. He's a long hitter. So I'm thinking he might get to 5 or 6. So when I got on 16, I'm like, I gotta put the pedal down because you never know. I mean, there's birdies out there. And 18, I hit a good 7-iron in from like 178 to like 5 feet, made birdie. And it was the weirdest feeling because I was so focused on shooting 62 that like 63 like hurt. But at the same time, it's like I didn't make a bogey, no warm up. I made every putt that like I was supposed to make, so I can't really get mad except that one tight draw. But those happen a lot, especially this year in tournaments.
Right.
And came in. My buddy Kyle Dodson won a prop bet for $250 against Chase, so it was a phenomenal day. So I was more invested in Kyle's round than I was mine, which I think helped a lot. Like
Right.
Kyle, he hit 6 greens, made 2 birdies, 2 bogeys, and the whole group's fist pumping every time he makes a 6 for par. So no one was even thinking on my score until we get on like 16 or 17. So it was just like a perfect mental game day to where I didn't even focus on. I just tried to get out of Kyle's way. And luckily enough, getting out his way was hitting it close a lot that day. So I need to play with Kyle more, I think.
Well, when they realized at 16, was it kind of like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter? They just kind of left you alone, didn't talk to you, made you ride by yourself, that type of thing, or?
A little bit, because they asked me on 15, the par 3. They're like, Lance, are you 5? I'm like, no, I'm 7. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but we're kind of blacking out on all these wedge shots hitting them tight. Then I missed the green. They're like, oh, shouldn't have said anything.
But Chris, it's got to be fun to watch. Seriously.
I bet. When you just get to hang out and watch somebody hit some golf shots, it's always fun.
Good golf shots.
Right.
So Liz, let me ask it's kind of a series of questions.
Okay.
When we got this information and I started looking at all the tour's lowest scores, I went and kind of pulled a handful of players across the country who have the plus handicaps. Okay. And just kind of as a point of reference for everybody, Lance right now is sitting at He's a -3. Okay. Of your scores, and this is disgusting. I mean, it really is. You don't have any of the scores that are being used are plus scores. They're all minus 7.2, -3.6, 3.2, blah blah blah, right on down the road. And what I wanted to do is I looked at your high scores.
They say you can tell a lot about a person by the contents of their freezer. So, what does a bottle of Jägermeister say? It says you have standards, you don't cut corners, and you like your Jägermeister shots the way they're meant to be enjoyed, ice cold. As for the frozen taquitos and mystery leftovers, we'll keep that between us. Drink it cold, or don't drink it at all. Jägermeister. Damn, that's cold. Drink responsibly. Jägermeister liqueur, 35% alcohol by volume. Imported by Mast Jägermeister, U.S. White Plains, New York.
And Chris, there weren't many of your whole career with Golfweek, right? Mm-hmm. So there's not many. I think you've got two, maybe 380s and a 79, and everything else is like a 75 and below.
Mm-hmm.
And so I looked and I went to some other players, that have those types of handicaps, and I'm finding the same thing. And I'm thinking, why is it that a good champ flight player like you, the dispersion of high scores there really isn't any compared to, let's just say, a good A flight player who's, when you think about a good A flight player, most people think, well, they're not really that far off. But when you look at a good A flight player compared to you, it's not even close, right? You're talking 4 or 5 shots, easy. Mm-hmm. So why do you think that there's that dispersion of high scores for a good A flight player as opposed to a good champ player?
So with playing with the guys like Joe Jaspers, Wong, Corbin Holt, the biggest thing that I see that we do in particular is when you start bleeding, you find a way to stop it. And if that means you got to start hitting it 20 feet with a wedge and not trying to go at flag just to preserve the score until you kind of figure out where your swing's at, that's a big thing. And then for the most part, we don't take unnecessary risks. Like, we won't go for like an island green with a free wood that some people are like, oh, it's Spins game, which helps. And then just picking the right club off the tee. Like, sometimes I've seen with like A flight and B flight, from their tees, they get hit driver, but then they get down to like a wedge number they don't necessarily like.
Right.
And, I would say the average good A flight player is going to make the occasional double from a number they don't like just because, you get in your head, you think about it a little too much. I mean, it happens to me too. Like, I do not like hitting 9 irons, so I try to avoid those. But it just adds up if you can just make golf as more like a driving range, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're good from 100 to 120 and you're not that great from 80 and in, I mean, Tiger played the first 4 years of his career trying not to hit inside 80 yards. So if the greatest player ever was doing that, there's got to be some merit to it. And I've seen that with, like, a lot of us when we'll go, like, with par 5s, if it's, like, a tuck pin, like if it's a short pin, we're trying to hit it deep. And if it's a long pin, we're never hitting a club that goes deep. And I feel like sometimes we're so focused with, like, the skin spot and trying to hit it close with a lot of people that you sometimes take a club that you know is going to get there but might go deep. But you don't think about the bad shot. And it's more like the decade golf systems where I've been using a lot this year. It kind of helps you pick your targets to where your bad shots are still on the green, and a lot of times they'll turn into the flag more often than not.
Okay.
So I feel like that's something that the high-level champ fighters do for the most part.
But you also have the skill to be able to do that too, right?
Yeah,
and that's that, and I think that's a key point. So you said like a good A flight player will take a double. How many doubles have you taken this year in a tournament?
Oh, I took a lot at Fripp Island the first day. I found a couple palmetto trees that were a yard off the fairway that I did not think could stay in there. But I mean, I probably made in Golf Week this year, I probably made 5 doubles, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, right around there.
Okay, so
only 5.
Only five doubles. Okay, out of however many rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9 rounds.
crazy.
It is, but again, it goes back to something that you said, Lance. You know where you want to hit it, and you know how to hit it that far. Like you said, if you don't want to hit it to a 9 iron because you don't like your 9 iron, you don't hit it to that distance, and then you don't have to worry about it. Maybe A flight players can do it. Maybe some B flight players can do it. But C and D flight players, they're just swinging away and let's just say they've hit their 7 iron 180 yards once, and then you think they hit their 7 iron 180 yards when they probably hit their 7 iron maybe 150, 160 yards.
100%.
And so they're taking that outlier as a standard, and you've hit so many, you know how to hit it that distance, and then it comes back down to making that score and making that handicap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for example, how you get to your -3 is different than how Jeff Long gets to his.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's no different than an A flight player who's a 5. How they get to their 5 is how somebody else gets to their 5. And so it's knowing your game and sticking to that and playing to what your strengths are as opposed to worrying what everybody else is doing.
For sure.
Lance, let me ask you this real quick. What advice would you give somebody that's not a champ flight player? Because as much as you all will take advice, you guys have your own set game. But somebody in a lower flight, what advice would you give them if they're struggling bad and they know they're a better player than what they're playing?
I would say majority of the time it's accepting that bogey's not that bad in the grand scheme of things. Because like we'll talk about it. We have a bunch of big friend group that plays all different flights, and we'll talk about how like B flight, C flight, D flight, 3-shot lead can go away in one hole. I mean, it can any flight. I did it last year in an event. It was great. Made a great 8 from the middle of the fairway. It was beautiful. But it's just kind of understanding sometimes if you don't have the shot to hit on the green or to hit it in a spot that you think is going to make it like, the hero shot's not always the play. So if you're in a spot and you see the pins back right and you have a weird line, you don't think you can take it on, but you're going to try for no reason. I feel like that alone is going to cost you probably 2-3 shots around just from not just like almost accepting that like making a 5 is going to be fine. Like, the tour guys talk about all the time that bogeys don't kill you, doubles do. So for champ flight, it's more like double avoidance, but really in the grand scheme would be bogey avoidance. But anything in the higher flights, double or triple, getting away from those is going to save you a lot of strokes and help you move up quick. It's going to lower the handicap a lot.
Cool.
Because everybody has the ability to hit a great shot. Everybody can hit a good shot, one up there or whatever, but the biggest thing that separates the champ flight from the A and the B is that the bad isn't, a re-tee for the most part.
Right. And that's huge. The penalty strokes, the re-tees, whatever it is, it's one thing I would almost say to miss hit, like and miss a green and take a stroke there, bogey in there because you missed the green and then get it close, as opposed to, you're giving a stroke away by hitting it into a penalty area.
Yep.
You're dropping 2, hitting 3 now all of a sudden, and now you're from a mental and a mindset perspective, at least me, I've lost the hole because I'm pissed off because I gave a stroke away, and hopefully I'll make bogey, but more than like you said, I'm going to make double because I messed up, and then my mind isn't right, and so it compounds itself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For sure.
Got that, Chris?
Yep.
Get your mind right. Get your mind.
I'm trying. That's why I asked.
So, Lance, what other big tournaments you got this year?
So not this weekend, but the next weekend, the second to last week of July, we had the City Amateur Championship, which has been circled for a while, and then I have the state match play the week after. So I got those two, and then I'm going to play the North Central events. We're playing University of Florida, Skyview. We have the season enders at Juliet Falls, which anybody listening, Juliet Falls is one of the nicest courses in the like Central Florida area, so definitely wouldn't miss that one. And then other than that, Nationals is circled on the schedule. I want to finally get myself in a better position than losing in a playoff. So we're going to try to keep it together for 3 days.
Hey, that's the key. Lance, I believe in you, bud. Let's talk about the is it the City Am?
Yes.
Okay, we talked about that a little bit last year, and that's an important tournament for you. Why is that?
So for that, it has World Amateur Golf Rankings points. So you can get points for just playing in it if you're already on the system. But for that, if you win that, usually you get exempt into like bigger events. Like if you win a city championship, for the most part, if it's a 3-day one, you'll get into like Gasparilla, which is the second biggest mid-am event in the world. That's in Tampa, Florida. That is an awesome event. I played for the first time this year. I've never played in front of so many people. There was 10,000 fans out there the last day.
Wow.
Yeah. So just playing good in the big events with ranking points is big because then, I mean, at one point I got to right around 1,000 in the world ranking this year. Then we had a rough March, but it's the better you play, the better you can move up there. And then it helps out with getting into big events and then getting exemptions and stuff like that as well.
How'd you do in the Gasparilla?
I finished T31 out of 156. I was in contention going the back 9 and made a double that wasn't on Golfweek, but I made a handful of those that weren't on Golfweek. But
to me, those don't exist at all. You know, we just worry about, you know.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
But yeah, it was a great event. The course was amazing. That's probably still the hardest golf course I ever played. So it was a really fun event and looking forward to playing it again next year. So that's definitely probably my biggest event every year. But Nationals is one of those that it's circled every year. I try to sneak the course, try to like get all the courses out of Dennis's brain beforehand. I want to know what's going on, which, as you know, takes a lot of coercing.
It does. It does. You know, I don't know if everybody knows what's going on. I'm not giving up too much, but I covered a tournament for Dennis this past weekend, and when Dennis texts or Dennis sends emails, you got to decipher some things, man.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sitting at the scoring table with Susan. I'm thinking, we got to make a decision. I don't know what this means right now, and I'm trying to figure it out. I said, Susan, you text back and forth with him all the time. What does this mean? She looks at me, I don't know. But yeah, it's Dennis will play things close to the vest, and then you got to figure some stuff out. But God bless him. I mean, the courses are out now, though.
Yes. I think champ is Hampton Hall Country Club at Hilton Head, and I forgot the third one.
Well,
it might be Oyster Reef, I think.
I'll tell you what, let me pull it up. But if you're at Hampton Hall and Country Club, I'm expecting low scores like you had a couple years ago. Honestly,
yeah, I like Hampton Hall. It's fun. That's one of my courses we played.
I love Hampton Hall, and here we go again, Chris. I love all the courses, but seriously, Hampton Hall, Country Club, and Golden Bear and Jones.
Golden Bear, yeah,
are some of my favorites there. I love them. I mean, I say they're all my favorites, but
Jones he can't make a decision.
Has a great finishing stretch at Jones. It's so good with that because the wind could pick up and the holes that you would think you could score on can be like you're trying to survive and make par. It's just a really good finishing stretch for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't find that list off the top of my head, but if you're if you guys are at those two courses, Hampton Hall and Country Club, it's gonna be low scores. Looking forward to that.
Hoping so. Hopefully the game rounds into form there. Now, hopefully I didn't like play too good now and then struggle a little bit coming in, but we'll see.
I mean, yeah, you know your game better than anybody else, but I mean, this is right about the same time last year that you shot the 62. Right? Let me pull it up.
160, something like that. I think I shot 65 in a to 67, 65 or something like that.
One, let's see here. 65.
Yeah.
So he's got you highlight on here a bunch of times, but so June 23rd of 24, you shot 65.
Okay. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
2 day.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's 3 weeks apart. I mean, I think you're in a good spot.
Maybe I figured out when to play tournaments. Right time.
That's awesome. All right, bud. Well, I'm hoping I see you before nationals. That if you get any more low scores like this, let me know, and we'll get you back on. But I love what you're doing, man. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, bud. No, take care of yourself.
You too.
Talk soon. Let's take a break from the show to hear about Strixon's ZX Mark II irons.
A great iron set needs more than good looks. It's got to be fast and got to be pure. But good looks never hurt either. The all-new ZX Mark II irons from Strixon.
This was such a good episode to have two of probably two of the best champ flight players on tour for this episode. And as we're getting down to it, we're going to feature as many regional tour winners as we possibly can as we're leading up into national championship. Although we do need to get Roger on here. We haven't had Roger on a little bit, and there's obviously some things we need to talk to him about. A lot of club kicking and foul language at the U.S. Open. So we definitely want to talk to him about that. But a couple other things as well. And plus, we just need to catch up with him. We haven't talked to him in a while.
Right. I agree. It's always good just to have a conversation with him because he always has something up his sleeve that he wants to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you realize this, we're only 4 months away from nationals.
Dude, I know. And I know it's coming up so quick. I can't even believe that it's July. I mean, in just a couple of days, you're like I said, you're heading off to that regional, and then you've got a Tupac tournament. So, it just goes by so freaking quick.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, I already booked my flights. Got to book my practice rounds for nationals already. It before you know it, it's already time to start lugging that big box around and go to all these events.
I know. When are you coming in? You coming in on Monday?
Tuesday.
All right.
I fly. If Tuesday's the cheapest day to fly. Period.
So you leaving on Tuesday too?
Mm-hmm. Cheapest day to fly.
All right. You Tuesday after seniors?
No, I don't remember what time it is. Sometime on Tuesday.
So you'll be here for like 3 weeks? Because seniors is over on a Thursday. So you can leave the Tuesday after seniors.
I can't play in the seniors. Why would I?
No, but I'm just talking about coming and hanging out. Just talking about coming and hanging out.
Give me an exemption.
You got it. There you go. It's given to you.
I don't think the seniors would appreciate that.
See? Oh man, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. So you're gonna interview winners up in. I always this is why I've got bad brain. I always call that place Buffalo Trace.
No, it's not bad, Ben. It's just that's what you want right now. There's a nice tall glass. So it's undeniable. I don't blame you.
So when are you going to interview the Buffalo Trace winners?
I'm gonna try. It is tea times.
Is it?
I don't know how long the Champ and A guys must stay. And I plan on being in the last group for B flight in contention. So if they're there, I don't mind. You just know how that is. When it's not shotgun, it's harder.
It is. It's very hard.
Right.
If it's very hard if you're playing. Even shotgun, because if everybody's coming in at the same time, and it's a lot of times it's chaos. Even for us trying to wrangle guys, and because a lot of times again they want to get the picture, get the trophy, and go hang out or catch a flight. Because this is a Monday Tuesday event, right? If I'm not mistaken, Monday Tuesday, yeah.
Well, I mean, my guys on tour understand that they have to do their interview before they get their trophy. So as they're coming in, they're like, "All right, let's do it. Let's get the interview over," because they're already trained's the wrong word, but they're already trained for interviews and photos and all that. But like you said, when we were in the Vegas a couple years back, they wanted to go.
They want to go. Yeah.
It's
but I think they wanted to go back to casinos is what really what they wanted to do.
Probably. But like I said, I'm gonna try and I'll let them know that they're running it to let the champs know if they want to hang out or if they're gonna hang out for an interview. Great. If not, expect a call from Tim Newman to schedule an interview. But it was interesting because I had to interview myself at my tournament. I actually had my assistant interview me, but it was a little awkward because he's not used to doing the interviews. So he was like, "Yeah, so
here we are.
Well, you're around."
You should have had Jordan do it.
I did have Jordan. Jordan did do it, but he was nervous.
Oh, okay. Oh, come on. All the stuff that he's done with this, and he's so nervous. He's better than that.
Right. He'll get better. I'm gonna have him start doing it more often because, like you said, shotguns. It's still crazy.
Yeah.
The good thing is you can kind of stall a lot longer in shotguns.
Yeah, you can.
Because you're validating numerous scorecards at once, so you're able to sneak away and pull the winners. The ones that stink are the ones where they may have a playoff.
Yeah.
And then you're waiting for that. So, but like I said, I'm going to try my best. Hopefully I'll let you interview me here on the podcast.
Well, maybe. Well, kind of what I'm thinking, and again, I didn't talk to you about this. And so now it's already going to be out on the interwebs of the podcast spaces. We just did 2 champ players. I'm just kind of thinking that we devote an episode to each flight. So maybe next one do 2 A flights, plus the other. I mean, you get all of them.
I have one
2 B flight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I may have an A flighter that we can interview for my tour. He started this year in C flight.
Okay.
He's won a major in C flight. He's won a major in B flight. He's already won a tournament in A flight. And he's trying to go to win 2 block in A flight and be on the streak to probably win every major we have. So.
Well, let's
And he's 14 years old.
God bless him, man.
And he beat his dad in his first tournament in A flight.
That's even better. I love that. Dude, I love it.
At even par.
See?
It's wild to see this kid. I mean, I'm pushing his dad went to nationals with us last year. I'm like, we got to get him, man. Like, I'm going to look for a sponsor for him because the kid can ball. He can play for sure.
He doesn't need school.
Nah, he can miss Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Miss Wednesday, too. Might as well, fly out Tuesday. Might as well just miss Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. And then Monday, too. I mean,
no, they'll fly back Friday or Sunday night.
Because Tuesday is best at fly.
You're hating the look. The next time.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm trying to figure out ways to be able to stay places longer. Yeah.
I understand.
No, I'm not hating on that. That's a good way to approach things.
Mm-hmm. It helps me with my trips.
Mm-hmm. But Diana books all your stuff there, doesn't she?
No, I book all my stuff.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm. She'll book our vacations, but not my golf stuff.
Okay. Is that a don't touch? Don't even think about touching that? I got it?
For sure.
Okay. Yeah. You just put a serious face on it. Yeah, for sure. No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's talk about your round, man. You're 73.
Yeah, it was. I told you it was starting to click.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I blanked out for most of the round. I will tell you this: there's hole number 4. So we're playing in literally the mountain. So you're on a mountain cliff. You got trees all the way, and I hit mine to the left into the trees, not very far in, and I have 3 gaps: a very large gap, a medium gap, and a very tiny gap of trees. And I told my playing partner, I said, "Screw this! It's the 4th hole. I'm gonna go for it." And the ideal was to go for the middle gap, okay? Because it was onto the green. I'm gonna chip or like punch it out. It'll get me either in front of the green or on the green, and 2 putts at worst for par, bogey maybe. But if I hit a tree, then we're talking triple. Like, it was a gamble. I proceed to hit the shot, and it goes through the smallest gap and barely misses the tree. Hits the front of the green, bounces twice, and we hear it hit the pin. And we're like, well, that could be good or bad.
Right.
Because that thing was screaming as it went through the trees. You drive up, and it's a tap-in.
Oh, my goodness.
For par. No, for birdie. First birdie of the day. And then after that, almost chipped in on the next hole for another birdie, got par. Next hole almost chipped in again, and before you know it, I'm 1 under 316. And even on hole 16, like all directors get, when they decide to play, is they get ruling questions that they can't answer when they're done. So I'm answering this question because they won't stop, and I'm walking up to the green, and I line it up, I putt it, it goes in. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go back to work, pick up my ball, and go back to the cart to start texting the ruling again. Look up the ruling. It was just one of those days, like nothing.
That's awesome.
It was very enjoyable.
So where's that put your index at now?
It dropped it down like 1 stroke. It wasn't terrible. I think I'm hovering around a 9.8, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But like we said at the beginning, I'm ready to get back.
You're 10.7 now.
Oof.
Jordan's a 9.9.
Got plenty of room then. I'm ready to get back. I'm ready to play some good golf. Now's the time to start slowly cranking it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And be ready for nationals.
So who's going with you out to, let's call it the right thing. Let's call it the right thing. Yeah, Big Cedar, Buffalo Ridge.
Me, my brother, Sazo.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have, Jared, Orlando, John.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs, so you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Like, I think 5 or 6 other guys from El Paso going.
Okay.
We got a good group. I think we have all flights covered.
Good.
Maybe not champ. A through D, I believe we have all flights covered.
That's awesome. It's gonna be a good time.
It is. I think last time we went, I played pretty well too, and I think my brother almost won. He choked on 18, and I can say that because he tells me he choked on 18. So I can't wait. They're allowing caddies apparently, so I might get a caddy too and just get that little extra help.
You just make sure you play fast. Don't be lollygagging.
I'm not carrying the bag. I'm going to the cart.
You don't want somebody having to come running all the way out there until you hurry up.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, it wasn't my fault. That was the Whoever set up those tee times, it was their fault.
Oh, it's their fault. I got you. That's awesome.
Split in the tee times.
Hey, what are you gonna do? Blame the tour director. That's probably the best thing to do.
It actually helped me out because they were rushing and they started losing their lead, and I took second place, so can't complain.
See?
I just don't know what you would have done if there was a playoff.
I wouldn't have done anything.
Rock, paper, scissors. Let's do it.
There you go. That's it, man. Because it was dark, and oh my gosh, I don't know if you remember, but Jeremy, the Milwaukee tour director at the time, we didn't have the all close to the pins, and he went out by himself walking around the course. We said, "Where's Jeremy?"
With his little flashlight.
Oh my god! That was so much fun. Well, anyhow,
I don't know how I was the last group though. That didn't make any sense to me. But anyway,
ask the tour director. I mean, I don't know. That's me. How long ago was that? It was 6 years ago? No, it was 6 years ago. 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Right.
Right after COVID?
I can't remember anything that far back. You know that.
Okay. I'll ask Jen.
Just be careful when you ask her, because she still gets a little fired up about stuff, man. Just say, calm down.
I understand. But golf's been good. Can't wait for the next round.
So where are you doing your practice rounds?
I think we might stop in Oklahoma on the way up and play a practice round there. Again, ultimate goal is to play golf in every state. I will never go to Oklahoma unless I have to. And in this case, we have to. So I figured might as well stop someplace and play golf real quick and then mosey my way out.
So you're flying to Dallas and then just getting in the car?
Uh-huh. And by doing that, saved me almost $250 in flights.
Why don't you just fly out on Tuesday?
Because Tuesday's the tournament.
No, this past Tuesday.
I'm not going to be there for a full week. There's nothing in Missouri.
Golf?
Oh, yeah, but I have work I have to do, unfortunately.
Oh, work is always getting in the way. That's always an excuse.
I'm not like Joe. All this free time.
That was funny. Well, we got the national championship courses announced.
Yes. We did. And it's interesting because everybody will play 3 different courses.
Yeah. This is so if you're champ flight, you've got they've got Golden Bear, Arthur Hills and Palmetto Dunes, and Trent Jones.
Are you reading it off like a little paper or something?
My phone.
Oh.
What do you think I was doing?
It looks like you're squinting really bad over there.
Well, I had to actually make it big, and I was still squinting. But yeah. But good courses, man.
A flight, you got Robert Trent Jones, Golden Bear, and then Arthur Hills, Palmetto Dunes.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just flip-flopping it.
That's awesome. See, B Flight 1, I think, has the best rotation. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, right.
You've got Hampton Hall, Country Club of Hilton Head.
Good course.
The Golden Bear.
Golden Bear.
I let's put it this way: if you put, but see, I don't even know which one you'd take off. Because I love Trent Jones.
I wish on Sunday
mm-hmm.
we could have all played it, or B Flight could have all been at Golden Bear and not split.
Why?
Why not?
How are you gonna do that?
I don't know. Make it work.
Just talk to the tour director. I'll do it.
I think he's got a lot on his plate right now.
Does he? I told him you said that. But see, I don't know how you would do it.
I guess it'd be too much. Yeah, you're right. Sea Flight's got Oyster Reef, Robert Trent Jones, and Hampton Hall. So that'll be a good sea flight at the end.
Yeah, it's a good sea flight. D flight, Arthur Hills, Palmetto Dunes, Oyster Reef, Country Club of Hilton Head. Good God.
That sea flight one's tough because Oyster Reef, you're at sea level. Then you go to Robert Trent Jones, which is not an easy course to play regardless.
Yeah.
Especially that back nine. Then you got to go to Hampton Hall. And it's kind of open, but...
Just don't hit in the rough. That's the
key.
Yeah, so you're not going to be hitting it in the trees or having to hit around trees. You just don't hit it in the rough.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And then we got the senior one, too, as well.
Yeah, so some of the same courses, like Champ's got the Jones course and the Hills course. I think that was kind of set up that way.
Robbers Row is new, isn't
it? We do that with the seniors. I think we've been doing that with seniors for the last 3 years.
Okay. And Fazio?
Fazio, that's the third course that's in Palmetto Dunes.
Okay.
So when we're in Palmetto Dunes for Golf Week, we can't take up all three courses.
Right.
So, but it's out of all those, Fazio is the only course I haven't played. Since I haven't played golf in I don't know how long, that probably wouldn't be my first choice. Right?
Let's start with the one with the little pirate ship.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. So, this could be fun. Go ahead and start booking flights, start booking lodging.
That's my next thing on my list. Because, the lodging will get you.
We got to bring, how many guys you going to bring? 30?
God, I wish I could bring 30. The goal is to bring at least 2 per flight to compete in the minimum. And we've been hyping it up. And with our Ryder Cup being away this year, I think we might get a little bit more. But, like we always say, it's a little bit harder for us West Coast to get out there. But I'm pushing it. I know a lot of guys enjoyed it last time, so.
Mm-hmm. So if you fly out, generally, is that a one stop or a 2 stop? Can you fly from El Paso to, say, Savannah nonstop, or no?
No.
It's not that
1 stop minimum.
Yeah. Where are you stopping?
Dallas. I usually stop in Dallas. See, when I found the flight, usually I'll fly out 6 a.m., stay in Dallas for a couple hours, and then get to Savannah by 3, 4 at the latest. Savannah time, Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
This time I found the flight that leaves El Paso at like 11:30 and gets to Savannah about 6:30. Which I'm okay with. Doing a little drive. What's it, an hour drive, maybe?
It's an hour drive.
Yeah. Get there in time for a drink and hang out. Find my place.
Take a nap.
Nah, it's too much fun out there to take a nap.
I'm just gonna take a nap. I'm tired.
I'm tired, Grandpa.
See what happens. All right, my friend. We'll travel safe.
Appreciate you.
Finishing the last group. get some interviews, and we'll talk.
Yes, sir. Hopefully we got some good news and hardware to show off.
My guess is
I'll have completed two days by the time we talk again.
Yep. My guess is there's going to be at least one winner coming from your group.
I like it.
I'm not going to say what they won, but they're going to win something.
A skin?
Win something. I don't know. We'll decide what that is before we get on the air again. So yeah, Tim was right. We have a winner. All right, buddy. You take care of yourself. Have fun.
Likewise.
Talk to you soon. See ya.
Uncovered windows can make your home feel up to 20 degrees hotter. Stay cool and save up to 45% off custom window treatments during the 4th of July VIP access sale at Blinds.com. From outdoor shades to room darkening blinds, finding the perfect fit is easy. Get free samples, expert design help, and professional measure and install services. Or DIY it with confidence and support every step of the way. Shop up to 45% off site-wide right now during the 4th of July VIP access sale at Blinds.com.
This episode is brought to you by Google Health. Stop chasing someone else's definition of health. What matters is what's healthy for you. Google Health offers a new kind of coach built with Gemini for effortless tracking, sleep insights, and holistic coaching tailored to you. Visit googlestore.com to learn more and start a new relationship with your health. Requires Google account, Google Health app, internet, and Google Health Premium subscription. Features subject to change. Availability and results vary. Not intended for medical purposes. Works independently of Gemini apps. Check responses for accuracy.